Hi everyone, it's Anahata. How are you? I hope you are doing well. And if you're tuning into this, you potentially saw the headline, which is, why do things hurt? Now, there's just one word for this. And the answer, hi Charlene, how are you, to why things hurt is one word, and that is meaning. Meaning. That's it. When we assign meaning to things, potentially there's going to be a rub, right, between where we are and what we desire. Hey Lynn, hey Purana. I'm just reading you a chapter of my new journal. The journal is called Your Mess into Medicine. It's available on Amazon.com right now. It is $17. And I'm going to read you a chapter. Hi, Swasan. I love that name. I'm probably messing it up. But anyway, the power of meaning. This is from my journal, available on Amazon. We are energy decipherers. We experience the world primarily through our five senses, and we assign meaning to the experiences we have in order to build a deeper connection in our lives. You're probably going, well, duh. But let's take a look at this. Without meaning, there is no purpose. And without purpose, no passion. And without passion, no desire. And no desire would mean no creation. And eventually we would cease to exist. This is why there's contrast, so that we can respond, react, choose. We decipher, we assign meaning, we birth our desires, we go after it, or not. Either way, the importance and power of assigning meaning is worth exploring, as it is the meaning which draws to you the things you will experience. This gets really interesting quantumly here as we get going. The psychological mechanism involves coming into contact with something in our environment, thinking a thought in response to that interaction, which then releases neurochemicals which are experienced as emotions. Those emotions build and reinforce prior pathways of thought, and by the time we are in our 30s, we have fired and wired our personalities into well-oiled machines which spend 90% of their time thinking of the same thoughts as we did the day before. Guys, this is just science. This isn't me just making it up. It's really what happens. Incredible, right? Even the most mindful human has a limit to the amount of conscious awareness it can bring to each moment before much of the stimuli has to run on autopilot based on prior thought patterns, emotional responses, and experiences. Stay with me. It gets interesting. This would be wonderful if we only filed away the associations that served us, but because our ego minds are there to keep us safe, our database, which is our subconscious mind, is often filled with negative connotations or interpretations in order to keep us out of harm's way. Best to be safe than naive is the ego's motto. We run the risk of becoming quite tainted through the judgments we have made both personally and learned secondhand. When we are children, we absorb all experiences as truth and we don't question what we're experiencing. And often we internalize it. That's not in the book, but it's true. No matter what's happening, we feel like it's our, we are responsible for whatever's happening. In general terms, we learn to view the world as providing either opportunities for us or limitations. And whatever we are exposed to will be true, as the raw components of the universe will draw to us things which validate our core beliefs. And yet, we will tend not to see the correlation as a creator, but rather as the world happening to us, rather than through us. Your truth is your truth, and it's true. But do you want it to be? That's the ... guys. Your truth is your truth, and it's true, but do you want it to be? The opposite of one truth, therefore, is not false, but rather another truth being validated. Holy cow, right? Perspective. That's all it is. perspective and response, and what you're identifying with and internalizing as your truth, and therefore magnetizing to you. If you don't know who I am, I'm Anahata. I channel the assisting frequencies, which are the law of attraction of energy medicine, known as the Anahata Codes. They are free. The entire modality, www.anahatacodes.com. Download them. Unify. Shed your ego persona. Extend past yourself and into the bounty which is available to all of you innately. The codes can help you. We'll continue. There's only a few more paragraphs. These are short chapters, guys. My book, Your Mess into Medicine journal, is only about 50 pages of text, because the rest is encouraging, with empty pages, for you to fill out and journal in 3 segmentations simultaneously, like an onion or a helix spiral. It's cyclical, it's non-linear. We're going to do all of it at once in this journal. When we can remember the natural order in the universe, we can begin to take back our power and step out of victim mentality. A closed mind is set and will not allow the new. A growth mindset will continue to adapt and influence its environment in new and exciting ways which serve the whole. Guys, you will unlock quantum potency when you are within the Ikki, a Japanese teaching. Good for you, good for God, good for the planet. And replace God with Creator if that rubs you the wrong way. I highly recommend taking a look at your limiting beliefs regarding religion and just open the door and take it as truths that make sense or not, but not a dogma. So guys, it all comes down to meaning. This is why there is pain, because of the meaning we give things. Of course, we have to give meaning to things, or else we would forget how to make coffee or drive a car. What we keep thinking and responding to emotionally, largely subconsciously, builds pathways. You've heard of what fires together, wires together. And we experience more of the same because we are attuned to it. However, we can always think fresh, form new patterns, and transform our existing experiences through editing our old ones. After all, it's our response to our environment which activates our gene expression, not the environment itself. My favorite biologist, Bruce Lipton, said that. And what he means is that 2 different people can experience the exact same thing and take from it an entirely different meaning, right? So it is the meaning that we assign things which dictates what will occur biologically within us and then be reflected in our outer world through our magnetism. Yes, you are that powerful. That's just the way things work, whether doing it consciously or subconsciously. And let's keep reading. We're almost done. We have less than a page to go. This is universal law. Our consciousness is the gatekeeper into how we file something within the subconscious. But it's competing with a lot of prior defaults. So it will take more than thinking new thoughts to rewire your old habits of thought, which run automatically. Guys, this is why New Year's resolutions often don't work. You set out with this mindset of, I'm gonna do it, but if you don't actually follow through with the action and activations to alchemize the 3 A's of actuation, it's not gonna happen. You've got to transform your vibrational being to experience difference. And that takes more than simply thinking. It takes thinking, being, and doing, and getting outside of your persona that is currently magnetizing the same circumstances in the way that you've been experiencing them in the past. Again, your truth is your truth, and it's true. Do you want it to be? How do you want 2020 to unfold? Esther Hicks, she asks us to imagine if someone you didn't know called you and said, hey, I've decided that I don't want to ever speak to you again. You will never hear from me. Goodbye. And they hung up. And you'd be like, okay then, that was odd. And you wouldn't skip a beat, right? However, if your fiance or child called and said the same thing, you'd be absolutely devastated. Why? Because of the one word I mentioned at the beginning, which is the source of all pain, is the meaning that we assign things, right? And all pain is just simply the wishing for something to be other than it is. That's all. That's all. And it's funny because we're the ones who've assigned the meaning in the first place. So, we have the keys, I think, here. But let's keep going. Because of the meaning and connectivity that we've chosen to give in relationships and the way we interact in the world, when we bond with something or someone, we fire and wire that reality, and it becomes part of our very chemistry. It's what allows us as humans to care about things beyond the self, which ensures survival of the whole. It can also ensure toxic patterns, which can even become addictions despite their not being healthy. So, our desires will be expressed. This is the big takeaway for the day, and I hope that you head on over to Amazon.com and check out my new journal. It's $17. It is called Your Mess into Medicine, Actuate, and what is it? What's the subtitle? Sorry, let me see what the subtitle is. You'd think I would know this, but I don't. Uncover and actuate your perpetual purpose and joy. Uncover and actuate your perpetual purpose and joy. So let's finish up this chapter. And again, as I said, they're very, very small chapters. And you can read it in a day and get going on the journaling activities, and it's designed for progression over time, no matter where you are right now. Okay? The first step is, it's a simultaneous cleansing of the subconscious mind and rewriting your default patterns, a marinating in the now moment and looking for synchronicities and confirming that which is within your vision, and then building curiosities beyond your comfort zone and leveling up and seeking flow. And so I teach you how to do all that in the journal. We're wrapping up here. So the takeaway is our desires will be expressed either in a way that validates our wishes and therefore allows them, or takes note of our resistance and provides more of the same. Here's the caveat. In order to show you what needs editing. Guys, you say you want something and then you sabotage it. And then when fear shows up or any unknown, you're like, I can't handle it. And you go back in your cocoon. That's not growth. That's not optimism. That is resistance. That is choosing to perceive the world as happening to you versus through you. Yeah, I'm sorry. They keep freezing. It is. I'm in a vortex. So you'll have to go back to the replay. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to also download this, edit out the silence and oddness, put it on my YouTube channel, and then post it again. So just subscribe to me on YouTube if this is annoying for you. I'm so sorry. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I live on ley lines in a vortex. That's just what happens. So, the universe does not give us what we ask for. It gives us what we vibrate. Okay? Contradiction and flow are the same spectrum upon which we can plot ourselves into any vantage we choose. One is not better or worse than another, but one is certainly more stable and coherent because it leads straight to the answer rather than having to sort through and edit the resistance. Pain is no longer required to ascend. We can simply use our consciousness and expand into our mastery without the need of karmic ties or drama. We're at that level now, guys. We used to have to, until we mastered the understanding and got it and, paid penance for our sins and all of that, then we could finally move on into this awareness. Consciousness now in the 5D, from the 3D through the heart chakra, the fourth dimension, the Christ consciousness coming in is illumination immediately. So this is finally, as Rumi said, the cracks are where the light gets in. Everything is cracking wide open, guys. Our earth is going through a rapid transformation, and the burn off can be instantaneous. So If you don't like something about your life, choose to think about it differently. And this journal is going to help you do just that, to assign new meaning to the resistance, so that everything is flowing towards your potent purpose. That is your meaningful contribution, what you came here to birth in this lifetime. And 2020, the 2 and the 0, community, extension, past self, unity through the heart, and the third eye into divine, limitless potential unification is potent. So, give it a new meaning, watch the world rise up, and prove it to you. And again, this journal is going to help you do that. I hope you will check it out. It's on Amazon.com. I will put the link in the thread. Last thing I want to mention before I go is I'm also hosting a 31-day boot camp for your soul called For Joy and Genius. It's going to use the elements from the journal as a base for you to, and by the way, in the program, you get the journal, a signed copy, free shipping US, included in this boot camp. So if you'd like to take a 31-day guided journey with me, go to www.forjoyandgenius.com. I will put the link in the thread. Hey Scott, how are you? Hope you're doing good. I'm wrapping up, but do watch the video again from the beginning. Hi Maria, hi Dee Dee. Hey Corey, how are you guys? Oz, boy, someday I'll get your name right. And everyone else in listening now and in replay, God bless you on your potent path to your highest sovereign self that is here to birth newness. You are a creator. You're creating anyway. Might as well have it follow the Ikigai model, which is good for you, good for the planet, and good for creator. And there we go. 2020, here we come. Let's assign new meaning. And in all ways,